liked it when it was just the two of them. It borders on whiny to me. It borders.
What?
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
On today's episode, we are discussing Hope Valley 1874, episode 3, which is exclusively streaming on Hallmark Plus. Hot tip, they did drop episode 1 on YouTube if you want to give it a watch.
They did?
For free to see if you want to continue watching the series.
Why wouldn't they drop it on their regular Hallmark channel?
I don't know.
Hire us, Hallmark.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, hey, if you're listening to this podcast and you're enjoying it, we would love it if you would take a quick second and write a review for us. The best place to do it is in the Apple Podcast system, which you need to be an iPhone user to use. If you are not an iPhone user, you can rate this podcast in Spotify. Spotify requires you to have listened to the podcast in Spotify in order to rate it. You can't just be willy-nilly dropping reviews. So drop us a rating or a review in the app in which you are listening.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know how much it helps us. Like, literally, we're two moms sitting at the kitchen table just trying to get it done over here.
Yeah.
And your support does mean the world to us. And just like a quick, 5-star.
Even like share it with a friend, post it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, be like, hey, this is my favorite podcast and here's why.
Now here's the pitch for if you guys want to come support us on Patreon for $5 a month. It is a paid platform. You get 4 new episodes a month from us over there. They are not Hallmark related. They're not PBS related. They're just 2 midlife besties shooting the you-know-what over there.
Hey, let's hear an episode synopsis for Hope Valley episode 3.
Rebecca starts a mess tent to fund boarding house repairs. Tom faces an unexpected setback. Olivia takes her art to the next level with help from Alexander and Clayton.
This episode was directed by Martin Wood. Martin has 60 directing credits, including When Calls the Heart, Holidays, Virgin River, and tons of other Hallmark movies and series.
Episode 3 was written by Alfonso H. Marino.
Brad Abramenko joins as Nash. He has 15 acting credits, but this isn't his first Hallmark gig. He did appear in A Splash of Love in 2022.
The character Phoebe Taylor also joins the cast this week, but at the time that we're recording this, details on the actress are pretty limited. We're hoping to have more next week.
Maria March plays Vivian, the daughter of one of the prospectors, and yes, that is Bethany Joy Lenz's real-life daughter.
Before we take a break, can I ask you, in your opinion, how do you think the show's doing for Hallmark?
Oh, for Hallmark. I mean, the feedback I've seen is positive.
I know, me too.
So I hope it's getting views. I think, honestly, this is probably the most positive I've seen from a Hallmark exclusive series.
Yeah, I just wonder if they're getting their views over there.
I hope so. I hope so. Well, let's take a quick break and we'll come back with our first impressions. Hey, Wendy, what is your first impression of Hope Valley episode 3?
I am starting to worry that Rebecca is going to girl boss herself into financial ruin.
Oh, interesting. My first impression is, oh, look, another job for Rebecca.
Okay, good. We walked away with the same first impression.
Yeah. How many hours does girlfriend have in a day?
I know. I don't know.
Let's talk what we liked.
This show okay. I'm shocked how much I enjoy this show. First of all, let me just say that. My husband asked me last night, he's like, what are you watching? I'm like, I'm watching Hallmark's version of Little House on the Prairie, basically. And he's like, oh, how is it? I'm like, it's not terrible. Like, it's not terrible by any means. I find it kind of comforting in a way, even though
life is hard.
Yes, even though the show like depicts that life is not easy for these people, right? I appreciate that Rebecca's boarding house isn't magically coming together, even though that's like secretly what I want. I want like a montage episode of like everybody helping and building and painting and like putting curtains up and stuff. That's what I want.
Sure, me too.
But I like that we're showing that it's not. I also like that Rebecca is clearly over her head and the show is letting her be over her head. Like the boarding house is too much for one lady. Come on now.
Yes.
When she's like, I don't think it was this episode, but it might have been episode 2. She's like, I got to fix the roof. I'm like, is Rebecca going to go up there? I'm like, pound those.
I think it was this episode.
I can't remember. Oh, yeah, because somebody fell through.
Not the roof, but one of the
but
upstairs floor. Yes, one of my favorite scenes, actually, when he falls through.
I mean, it reminds me of The Money Pit, which I love that movie with Tom Hanks. And he falls through and he's stuck there for hours. In the rug. Oh, my God. It's so funny. But overall, I think they do a really good job of showing that the stakes feel real for everybody in this community.
Yeah, it's funny because I like it too. I like it too. And I'm curious what you think. Would you like it as much with the different actors in the lead? Or do you think Benjamin and Bethany are doing a lot of the work here?
What a curious question.
Well, because they're both so good and so watchable.
Right. If you're saying, like, if it was a lesser known name, would I still be drawn to it?
Yeah, would we care as much?
I don't know.
I don't know either. It's impossible to answer, really, but I do think they're both really working for me. I think the casting, I mean, I really like the Jill Hennessy casting as well. I think she's excellent.
Great.
We are seeing some real character development in this episode, particularly in the role of Tom. Tom comes in and he's so staunchly opposed to the prospectors and everything that they're about. And he's basically like, his line is like, you're going to have to get out of here. And now he's realizing that's not a battle he's going to win. They're not going anywhere. And not only are they not going anywhere, but he starts to lose his own staff to the appeal of the get rich quick scheme of it all. I like that Rebecca is instrumental in him coming to an understanding because he's about to post looking for ranch hands. And she's like, give them one more chance. And when he has that discussion with them and he finally comes to a compromise of this isn't going to work if I draw a hard line, it's me or hit the road. So when he makes a compromise of come to work for me and I'll give you a day off to go find your fortunes. That's growth on the part of Tom.
I think so too.
And he realizes this isn't going to work. My way's not going to work. And I appreciate that he is willing to step out of himself.
Yeah, I really like that too. I don't want Rebecca to be like, I want Tom to get to these things on his own a little bit. Like, I don't need Rebecca mansplaining everything to him all the time. But I do appreciate that she said, hey, look at it from their perspective. Wouldn't you do the same thing for your families or whatever? I did like when he like walks into the mess tent and he like gives his big speech and then turns around. He's like, is anybody coming with us? A little bit of levity, which I love from Ben Ayers. Also made me think of like Jerry Maguire when Jerry Maguire gives his big speech and like, he's like, nobody's coming with him except for like that one chick. Anyway, I thought that was very good. This was a moment. And I am enjoying watching Ben Ayers in this role as Tom, growing from this gruff guy who disagrees with Rebecca to kind of maybe being more open to like, well, things are changing and I have to evolve with the times here. But, and I also really like that, Tom's pissed that his ranch hands are off panning for gold and Tom's doing the work. Like, he's not just like the boss who's like,
he's digging fence posts.
Though in that scene, I thought it was really funny. They're like, Tom, give it a break. You're going to like, I was like, Tom is willing and able. Like, he's not an 80-year-old man out here trying to dig posts.
No, but life was shorter on the frontier.
This is fair. This is fair.
We got a new character unlocked who I really like, our sassy Phoebe Taylor. And we don't see a lot of her in this episode, but I suspect based on her riding to the rescue at the end that she's going to become a fixture here in Hope Valley. She is the one who comes to the rescue with her beeswax treated canvas for the mess tent. And she and Hattie, I believe, have a lot to relate to. It seems like her son has moved away. And that is a future that Hattie is wrestling with, that Olivia wants to bigger and better. She's funny. I mean, she hates people, which I can fully relate to.
Me too, maybe even more.
Yeah. She's just like, they're just people, but people can be really annoying. I thought she was funny. I'm here
She's
for
on the
it.
same level as Hattie, don't you think so? Like they kind of
Like no nonsense.
have this kind of sort of dry humor about them.
Yes.
But have seen some stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. I enjoy her introduction as well. I'm really enjoying Hattie and Olivia as mother-daughter. First of all, the actress who plays Olivia is so damn cute with her 2 chin dimples is just adorable. She's so cute.
I'm also wondering how she gets those curls. Like how are
Sock
we
curls,
doing
babe.
rad curls?
Yeah, maybe.
Overnight?
Yeah.
Obviously they're not curling them with the bioionic in the morning.
No.
Yeah, it must be like a rag curl situation.
Gotta be.
Okay.
Things we think about.
I just was noticing how cute her curls are. It's a lot of work to get your hair up into those updos every morning, I would imagine.
For sure. But what I love about these two is that Hattie especially, she's practical, she's observant, and she's not afraid to say what needs to be said. That's what I like about her so much. And like I said, like her and Phoebe are kind of the same. Rebecca is along those lines too. Like we have these kind of very strong women.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm enjoying watching that. When I think this is probably a time that the women maybe.
Yeah, we have strong women. They were not probably allowed to be necessarily that strong and have such a strong opinion. Yeah, the roles that they play in town are probably an inflated version of reality, but I like it. And the other thing that I like about Hattie is she's growing too. She's really afraid of Olivia leaving her, but she seems to start to accept that that is a reality and that may be what's best for her daughter, even though it'll be what hurts her.
I think this is why I'm drawn to their storyline.
Sure.
My daughter is on the verge of moving away to college. So yeah, part of me is like, I'm sad to see this part end, but very excited. Go get it, girl. Can I go back to Rebecca for a second?
Yeah.
So I keep thinking about Rebecca. This was a Rebecca heavy episode in terms of like trying to make her dreams come true. Dreams come true is
She's trying to do the damn thing.
exactly. I'm watching this and I'm like, why isn't anybody helping her? Like, this is kind of a small knit community. I'm like, why aren't they like, let me work on the boarding house with you? And then I had the realization that everybody is getting by here. Everybody's trying to survive. So nobody has the extra time or energy or whatever to help somebody else out.
Right. Yeah, they're hand washing their clothes and panning for gold and living in a tent and tending the farm animals.
Yeah.
And raising children and
Yeah.
pinning their hair up every morning.
Yeah, exactly. I just think that's a really smart choice because if we did have like a community rallying around Rebecca and doing all this stuff to have this magical scene happen of the boarding house getting done,
Right.
it wouldn't be so true to life. So I do like that.
Yeah, but I almost wonder if we're building towards that because in this episode,
I'm sure.
We see them, they're so reluctant to try her fancy food with seasonings and garlic, right? And they come around and she figures out, a way to do that. So I wonder if we are going to come to a point where maybe Tom or Hattie is like, yo, it benefits everybody if this boarding house gets up. So if everyone pitches in for a weekend, maybe we could get this going.
Oh, well, maybe.
I would love to see that, all of the ways in which she's shown up for the community. They start to show up for her. And, she's teaching Peggy to read.
Yeah.
And maybe Peggy convinces her husband to get in on helping. I don't know what the deal is.
What's Peggy doing? Why can't Peggy come help?
But I think being a wife, she's cleaning the house and doing the laundry and cooking, and every meal is made from scratch, and she's raising children. And
True.
I think there's a lot to be done. I think the days are long
And hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call these likes, but I do want to just call out a few little ongoing / newly introduced storylines, just so we're tracking them. Sarah it's attempting to make friends with Vivian, the daughter of Prospector Doyle, and it is not going well. That's left very open-ended. And I suspect that Vivian is very guarded. She's out there working with her dad.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to potentially see some development there.
Sure. Especially learning that that's actually Bethany Joy's real life daughter.
Yeah. We have this story that I don't know if there's more here, but Sarah spends most of this episode being sad that her mom is leading her out. That's how she perceives it.
It's in my wishes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. She's struggling with, like, she liked it when it was just the two of them. It borders on whiny to me. It borders.
What?
Yeah. And I get both sides of this. To me, I'm like, your mom is out here hustling, girlfriend. Like, she is trying to make a life for you. Whatever you've run away from, it was for you. She's trying to build a life. Yes, for herself too, but
That's an adult perspective, though.
you're right. It is an adult perspective, but the mom's like, go make friends. And the daughter's like, I just want to be with you, which I understand because this is what the daughter knows. Tell me your wish.
My wish is that I get that Rebecca is trying to push her to be a kid. Mm-hmm. Because Rebecca realizes that she has asked a lot of Sarah, you know, as they explore the frontier or whatever. But it comes off as dismissive to me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I was wondering is there more here? Is there a reason why Rebecca wants Sarah to be her own person and to have her own life? Like, is there something she's protecting her from? Is there something she's hiding from her? Or is this simply like a push and a pull of like, her mom wants her to be independent and have her own thing, but Sarah's not really ready for that because she's in this whole new world and she likes her life with her mom.
That is so interesting. Your POV is so different than mine on this one.
Tell me how.
Because I think that Rebecca realizes that she has asked a lot of Sarah. Sarah has been asked to step into this adult role.
Yes.
And basically been her partner in survival, right? And now she's being told to step back with like no transition. She's not explaining anything to Sarah in terms of like, listen, I've asked a lot for you and you have been such a great help, but you also need to be, I don't even know how old this child is supposed to be, 12?
Yeah, that's my perception.
You also need to be a kid and go have fun. Look at all what the other kids are doing, like skip rope and read and make believe and whatever. But like, there's no explanation there. She's just like, go talk to that girl, go play with that person. It comes off as dismissive.
Yeah.
Like, you are a little bit too much. I can't deal with you too much. I got other stuff to deal with.
Interesting. We continue to have the constable sniffing around for information about Rebecca. This obviously continues to be our biggest unanswered question for me. And an interesting piece is he commissions Olivia to draw these drawings of the frontier that are going to be used as advertisement by the government to convince people to move out west.
Weird, right?
So interesting to me. And I feel like this is going to layer in, right? Like, this potentially could be Olivia's path to a career in art. I'm using quotation marks. It could be the way she moves out of Hope Valley. I find it hard to believe that she would leave. She's such a main character, but maybe, I don't know. I don't know what her future is. But also, you and I discussed this off mic at the end of the episode. He looks at one of her drawings and it's of Rebecca, and he kind of does a double take, and you pointed out they like zoom in kind of on her little doll.
Sarah's doll. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, that's like another like path that we need to explore. Finally, still on the table is the idea of Rebecca.
Are we in wishes or likes?
No, these are just like stuff that I feel like we need to acknowledge these threads that we're chasing.
Yeah.
In the series.
Okay.
Rebecca's selling her necklace for funds. You know, her daughter has said, don't sell the necklace multiple times. Last episode, this episode, she says it more than once. We're supposed to be watching that. That is the Netflix, hey, dummies on your phone, pay attention to this moment. This matters. And so clearly, Rebecca seems to be doing everything she can to make money in the interim to avoid doing that. Like, she is hustling. But on the other hand, they've called it out so many times that there's got to be another piece to this story.
Of course.
So it seems inevitable.
Well, again, in Sarah's defense, a 12-year-old should not be concerned about her mother selling a ring that means something.
Yeah, I'm on team Sarah here, but I see both sides of this. I see Sarah's like, this is all we have left. Like, this is my last tie to our family. And I also see Rebecca being like, I got to put food on the table.
Gotta do what I gotta do, girl.
So let's talk wishes.
I'm going to start with a wish that's on my lower list, but you did bring it up previously. It is about Alexander Vaughn. I am very interested to see where that storyline goes. Right now, he's just mostly observing. I'm like, let's speed it up a little bit. Like, give me. I don't want just like the hook at the end of the episode. I need something a little meatier. Why is he suspicious? Just because she's out of place there? I mean,
particularly because that's not really his job. Like, he was sent in mostly to keep the peace with
not a
among the
detective.
new settlers. Yeah. Like, the law has arrived to kind of be a presence and settle disputes among people with different goals and desires.
right.
But yeah, you're right, trying to like FBI this lady when it's like, who really cares? She is not. Look, the way I see it is there's no way Rebecca is an actual threat to these people. You know, okay.
Yeah.
What else?
I need Rebecca to listen to anyone, someone, anyone. You know, she's got all these, she's so stubborn. And while I appreciate that,
You will like my gumbo.
girl bossing her way through Hope Valley, but the other thing, I'm like, how does she have time and money?
Yes.
Like, Hattie literally tells her, give the people what they know. And Rebecca said, no, I will give them vegetables, which I'm like, why are you so judgy? Like, Rebecca, a little bit judgy here. Like, she even says about that prospector, like, when was the last time he had a vegetable or something like, she says something like that. Girl, you were out on the frontier. These people are barely surviving. The man is eating jerky to survive.
Is she getting a vegetable? If they don't have one, how does she? She's planted a vegetable garden in the midst of all of this?
I don't understand. And then she's making gumbo. Now, correct me if doesn't gumbo have sausage in it? Doesn't it have some sort of meat protein in it? But it sounds to me she's made like a vegetarian one.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's aromatic and my garlics and blah, 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 whatever. Like, she's basically giving people like vegetable broth, I'm guessing.
Oh, there's stuff in it.
Like what?
Well, what's in gumbo?
Shrimp and sausage and rice.
A dark roux, strong stock, and the holy trinity of celery, onions, and bell peppers, commonly packed with chicken, andouille sausage, or seafood, seasoned with spices.
I mean, I did see some chickens, so maybe
served over white rice.
maybe we're supposed to get the impression that flock of chickens is in the gumbo.
Maybe they had smoked meat, so maybe they had some sort of sausage. I don't know.
Okay, that leads me to the next question. Where is she getting money to buy smoked meats to put into a gumbo to give to people for free?
The whole Rebecca thing is so frustrating to me because I'm like, girlfriend, you need a Vyvanse prescription. Focus. You are trying to renovate the boarding house, get it up and running. She's like, well, I'm gonna have to feed him anyway. But it takes so much time to make all this food, put up the tent, who's working on the boarding house? You're just delaying. You're spending all of your time teaching Peggy to read. Now you're cooking for them. When are you going to get the boarding house up and running? I understand that, yes, providing food for these people is a nice service and it is a way to make money. But if you were to focus on the boarding house, you could do both.
Right. But she needs the money from the food that she's ideally selling to the prospectors to then work on the boarding house.
Okay, fair enough.
But then decides nobody wants my gumbo, so I'm going to give it away for free.
Which, not a bad idea to get them in. Like, of course they'll take it if it's free.
Have you ever been to a grocery store and they give you a sample? We're talking a sip.
I understand they were giving a lot more away. They were being generous.
Yes.
But, you gotta, it's called a loss leader. You worked at a grocery store.
I know.
That's why strawberries are 99 cents a pound to get you in the door. And Anyway. Any more wishes?
No, I'm just going through my list, and it's mostly like practicality questions. Mostly like, where's Rebecca getting money for ingredients? Where's her time? Why? Yeah, all this, it's mostly just that. But you're right. Like Rebecca, I'm worried about Rebecca.
She's going to burn out?
She's going to burn out. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's talk. Did you see that?
I have two.
Okay.
One we've talked about before. I just want to say shout out to the cast because they are committed. The weather is weathering. Yeah. When they shot this, I don't know what month it was in. Was it late last year?
I don't remember.
But man, I saw rain, actual rain. And then I saw some Instagram stories where it was kind of like behind the scenes and they were showing like Rebecca's character, like basically like trudging through mud. I was like, man, these conditions were not great for them.
No.
Not great at all. My other, did you see that?
Yes, I think you're right. They did film late last year, early this year.
But even in a lot of scenes, like, because they're outside.
Yeah.
But Tom and Nash and Tom and the other ranch hands, they're in Tom's barn or whatever it is. And you see breath. Like,
this is the exact opposite of shooting a Christmas movie in July.
Yeah. I just, bravo to these characters.
It really works for them.
Cast. Yeah, it totally does. It totally does. My other, did you see that, is Olivia says to, I can't remember if it's Clayton, who was barely in this episode, or Alexander. I don't remember who she said it to, but she said, cool it. Like, in response, like somebody says something to her and she goes, oh, cool it. And I'm like, hello, are we in Hope Valley or Sweet Valley High here?
Yeah.
Cool it is not something you're going to say in 1874. Did you clock that too? I see
like
you
there
look.
was something else, some other language, and I was like, I can't remember what it was. I think it was Rebecca saying something, but I can't.
She said, like, yo, check this out. I'm telling you, I've said it in the previous two episodes. Some of the language is it's too contemporary.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the choice to have Rebecca speak differently, I think, is an intentional choice. But I do agree she speaks, her language is contemporary. I laughed out loud when Lars fell through the ceiling in the opening scene. It was great. And Lars is kind of goofy, and I appreciate that he's like the only one showing up to help her out. She delivered his baby. That's very nice. I laughed at Hattie clocking Clayton's tea, telling him that he should maybe be a little more organized so he doesn't have to be running errands at the trading post every single day.
Yeah.
When he finds a reason to come by and see Olivia. It's probably part of the reason we don't see as much of him later in the episode. Because
he was shamed.
Yes.
Shame. Don't come after my daughter.
Now, if you're following Girls Gone Hallmark on Instagram or TikTok, you did see that I posted a reel where I said that every time I hear the word prospector, I see Stinky Pete from Toy Story 2. And then I realized in my notes that the prospector whose gold is being weighed in the beginning, his name is Pete. I'm sure that's accidental, but
I'm sure it is.
And finally, a question. Is Rachel Yost, the mom with the baby, the only woman in the prospecting camp other than Vivian? Maybe there's like a couple milling around in the background, but we hardly ever see them. And I think what a hard life for a mother with a baby to be living in a tent among all these other men who are kind of rough and gruff.
That's why I don't understand Rebecca. Be like, come, or even Hattie, come stay with me with your newborn baby.
I know.
Wouldn't you extend a welcome
I would.
like that? Yeah.
Yeah, like I know the boarding house isn't much, but it's better than a tent.
You're not living out in the weather, and they had a really bad storm that night.
I have a question. When they come back and the tent is destroyed, she's like, well, we can't have a mess hall without a place to eat. Why?
It's not raining. You can sit at tables and eat.
What do they do every other night? Take it to go. I don't understand. If they're eating dinner in their tent or around the fire or wherever else, they all had their like cups, when she's walking around. Why can't they? You don't need a dining hall in order to serve food.
I know. She was out. She was going to make pancakes that morning.
Go build your house.
I wonder if they were going to be free again. She's like, I got you with the gumbo. Now I'm going to get you with the pancakes.
Who doesn't like a pancake?
I agree, but yeah, your boarding house is not going to get done.
I need you to focus. Girlfriend, I understand. It's if you give a mouse a cookie over here all day long, but we're never going to get this place up and running. All right, that's a wrap on our thoughts on episode 3 of Hope Valley. We'll be back next week with more Hope Valley thoughts. Thanks for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark. We'll be back next time with more reviews. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.